Welcome. You guys know I love talking about what's going on in Hollywood and what's going on in corporate media and all the media space. I'm honored today to have an opportunity to talk about what's going on in Hollywood and the demonic anti-God mentality and approach in Hollywood, the satanic approach in Hollywood, with someone with a ton of experience and more insight than even I have into that. Kevin Sorbo, he's an actor, producer, director, author. You guys, many of you remember him from the 1995 television series Hercules that had 6 seasons. Kevin's been canceled in Hollywood because he's such an outspoken Christian. He's written books, and he's got a very popular book out right now about masculinity and young boys and young men. Kevin Sorbo, welcome to Fearless. Can't wait to unpack a little bit of your story, but I've seen you on many other media outlets talking about how your Christian values basically counseled you in Hollywood, and you made the very courageous choice to stand your ground and stand on your beliefs and build a different path. Walk us through what's happened to you because of your values.
Well, I'm not going to apologize for the truth, but that's, the truth is kryptonite to Hollywood. It's kryptonite to Washington, D.C. We all know that. About 11 years, my manager and agent said that we can't work with you anymore because of being a Christian, being a conservative. And that's like being a double leper, apparently, in Hollywood. And I love it. They're the industry that screams for us to have tolerance, for the type of movies they want to put out, the type of agendas that they have, that they want to force on the American public. And I don't care if they do those movies, but balance it up. Balance it up. Why can't we show more movies like the ones I'm doing, like Soul Surfer, God's Not Dead, What If, Let There Be Light. My newest one coming out in October is called Miracle in East Texas, wonderful true story set in 1930 about the largest oil find in the history of the world. Wonderful movie. But Hollywood doesn't want to do that kind of things. They want to keep pushing it. You look at Walt Disney right now. Look at Disney's doing. Walt's flipping over in his grave because Disney is just totally just destroying his brand, and they're going to lose over $1 billion this year. Not a very good business model, I don't think. But I formed my own company, Sorbo Studios, sorbostudios.com, and I've been doing my own movies for the last 10, 11 years, and also working with a lot of other independent producers. I love the industry. I love making movies, but I'm not gonna step down from the truth, and that's what they want me to do.
Kevin, what happened? Because it feels like, now I'm 56, you're a little bit older than me. It feels like there was a time when Hollywood did tolerate our values and made movies that reflected our values. What do you think happened? Why the pivot?
Well, I think Hollywood was a pretty conservative place in the 20s, 30s, 40s, even the 50s. I mean, the Warner Brothers, like the Warner Studios, those guys were complete conservatives. Hollywood is still in the business of making money. They are a capitalist business. They can sit there and, we're all for socialism. We're all for that. Yeah, they don't live that lifestyle now, do they? And the people that are successful with it. I think the 60s changed things a lot. I think if you look at the murders of both Kennedys and Martin Luther, you look at the civil rights, you look at the Welfare Reform Act, you look at the Vietnam War, all these things really started changing. And Hollywood started doing more movies that were a lot edgier, a lot grittier, a lot more celebration of the bad guy instead of the good guy. No more with John Wayne. Forget about that guy. And they went a whole different way with it. And the rating system was born during the 60s. There wasn't really a rating system prior to that in Hollywood for movies. And I think since then they've just been sort of doing what they want to do. I mean, I tell people, look at sitcoms through the decades. And sitcoms, the dad's always kind of he's kind of dumpy, he's out of shape. The mom's a babe. The teenage kids use dad as a pincushion to make fun of him. So kids have grown up through the decades watching this bashing of the father. And we've sort of made the father not an important role. I mean, look at the Barbie movie, which I haven't seen at all, but I've seen enough from other people who told me. They say they took the man right out of it. They're saying, women, you don't need a man. And, people are buying into that. And, I got tired of this emasculation of Hollywood, within Hollywood and within Washington, D.C., where they sit there and constantly, you look at movies now, most of the women are the ones who are the badasses in the movies, right? They're the ones saving the day. The guys are useless. They need help from that woman. Well, maybe we should take all males out of the armed forces and just fill it with all women. If they don't need men in their lives, they don't need men to protect them. This book is not bashing anybody. The Test of Linehood is all about this small little lion cub. His sisters, one of his sisters gets cut by a very dangerous plant. He's got no time to go get dad. He knows where the plant is. It's the opposite direction home. If he doesn't get this flower to save his little daughter's life, she's going to die. So he's got to suck it up. He's got to do everything that his father and mother taught him about being a boy. This book is about boys being boys and girls being girls. There's nothing wrong with that. And he goes up there, and through all of his insecurity and all his fear, he's able to battle all these blockades in his life, and gets to the flower and gets back to save his little sister in time. It's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful tale that Brave Books loves to do. Please go to bravebooks.com. Bravebooks.com is the place to go. You saw what they did to Kirk Cameron, right? Last year, he's reading his book in libraries, and they're banning him. They'd rather have drag queens read to 7-year-olds than Kirk Cameron, because Kirk Cameron apparently is a very scary individual for parents and for kids. I mean, it's just crazy what we're doing out there right now.
So, Kevin, again, and I talk about this stuff constantly, but I also internally criticize myself for not seeing like, hey, this has been coming for a long time. And now I rethink like movies and TV shows that I enjoyed. I was a big fan of The Sopranos. I was a big fan of a TV show, The Shield. Vic Mackey in The Shield, bad guy that's the, star. Obviously, Tony Soprano is the star of The Sopranos. These are bad guys that we've made cult heroes. And then I think about the movie American Beauty and how it was celebrated. And I believe that Kevin Spacey, I think, was the lead in that or whatever, but it was kind of celebrated because he was the bad dad with these perverted thoughts, and they built the whole movie around that. And so I enjoyed The Sopranos, I enjoyed The Shield, but I look back now and go, oh, that was all a part of the process of demonizing men and making stars of the bad guys, and the whole John Wayne narrative of the good guy always wins. They were blowing that all up. When this was going on in the 90s and 2000s, were you already getting uncomfortable with Hollywood and the direction it was going? Or did you feel like there was enough work out there that, okay, they're doing that, but I get to do this?
Well, I was never really a Hollywood guy to begin with. I love the industry. I mean, I love making movies. I love the creative process. I love being on the set, whether it's television or movies. But I thank God that when Hercules came out, and actually came out in 1993, it was 7 seasons, by the way, that show today, they would make that show completely different today. It'd be a completely different show. But even back then in the 90s, they made him, he was a hero. He was a guy to look up to. And he got it through the thousands of letters we got from fans from 176 countries. This became the most watched TV show in the world by season 3. I was honored to be part of that. I know that's a sin of pride, but it was pretty cool to be a part of something like that. And the writers always put moral messages in there, even though it was a mythological show. They had a lot of biblical messages in there, whether it was on purpose or not. It was in there. And I got it through the letters of fans coming in. And then I did a show called Andromeda for 5 years after that, playing a different hero. But I was playing manly roles. And I wasn't playing the guy that saved the day all the time. I was playing the guy that would try to work around problems, but he would also surround himself with good people that wanted to do the same thing. And we decided that we don't want to do that anymore in Hollywood for whatever reasons. And when I got the boot, I formed Sorbo Studios, and I started doing movies that Hollywood used to do, movies that have love, laughter, hope, redemption, faith, whatever it may be. They don't all have to be biblical movies, but they're movies with more of a moral message that's positive instead of negative. And for whatever reasons, I get bashed for that. Look, I did a movie called Let There Be Light that came out back in 2017, 2018. Had a 4-month run in theaters. We opened number 2 per screen average against Thor Ragnarok. Here's a $300 million movie. We have a $3 million movie. So we were basically catering budget on that type of movie. And we opened up number 2 per screen average. I get a call from Netflix following opening week on a Monday, and they say, hey, we want to work with you. You got a foot in this family world, this inspirational world. So I had 4 meetings over like 3 months with them in their offices in Hollywood. And I got to tell you, I was shocked that they, I said, guys, there's 80 million homes out there that want this kind of product. 80 million. Why don't you? This ideology and hate towards conservatives and Christians is weird to me, because you can't tell me Netflix isn't a capitalist business and not in the business of making money. And to me, it's weird that they just shut it down completely. I look at the people that run that company and go, really? You don't want to put movies out there that there's a lot of families that want to see? I mean, I don't get it, but I'm going to keep doing the ones I'm doing. And hopefully one day they'll wake up and want to be part of that world. You can have a good balance in there. I'm not saying stop making the movies you're making. You want to make them, fine. But I agree with 100%. There's a lot of demonic, satanic stuff going on within movies and television today. And I think parents are well aware of it, because I get stopped all the time. It's not because of Hercules. I get stopped in airports and hotel lobbies all the time. And they're saying, keep making the movies you're making, like Soul Surfer, and let them be like, we want more of that. Well, I'm making them, but somehow we got to get them out there, and it's got to be word of mouth by fans.
Kevin, there has to be severe financial consequences for the decision you made to stand your ground and to stand on your values. And I respect and honor and give you all the praise for that. And I'm wondering, does that make you sympathetic towards the people in Hollywood who allegedly have your values,
Sure,
but they're not willing to make the financial sacrifice that you did? How do you feel about those people?
Well, I get it, and they're out there. Trust me. Every movie I've been doing, especially over the last 6-7 years, I always get at least 1, 2, or 3 people during the course of the shooting schedule that comes up to me away from everybody else and say, hey, thanks for being a voice for us. And I said, well, be a voice for yourself. Why do I got to be the voice for you? Well, we don't want to have what happened to you happen to me. And I get it. I totally get it. Look, I made a very good living off of Hercules and Andromeda. They paid me very well. Have I taken a huge pay cut since then? Yeah, but I'm doing movies that I'm proud of. I'm doing movies that, like I said, have a good message. But I think there's a small turning point in there. I think you're seeing other actors come out even more. You got like an A-lister like Mark Wahlberg now. He moved out of Hollywood. He's living in Vegas now. And he said there's a problem in that city, and I'm sick and tired of it. And there's more and more people like him that are starting to speak up, because I think they're seeing how ridiculous this has gotten right now. And I hope that we've reached a turning point. I really do. And I think that tipping point is happening right now. And I think that it's going to start going back the other way, slowly but surely. But I think you're going to see more movies, independent movies, that are going to make a difference.
Kevin, you just said something amazing that I'm not sure you're aware of. But you basically just said, Mark Wahlberg left Hollywood to go to Vegas. That says something about how bad Hollywood is. that you can find more morality in Las Vegas than you can in Hollywood. That's incredible.
Well, off the Strip, it's a different world. Trust me. I had a home there for many years, because I shot Hercules in New Zealand and Andromeda in Canada. So I was out of America for 12 years. And trust me, even though I was gone 10 months a year, California still wanted to make me pay state tax. And I said, no, if I'm living here, I'll pay state tax. So I moved to Vegas for obvious reasons. But being off the Strip, you meet a lot of good people. Trust me. That city's grown. I mean, I was there with 700,000 people in 93, 94. There's 3 million now. It's crazy how fast that's gone, but you're right. That is pretty funny. Unfortunately, I'm very familiar with Las Vegas as well. And so I do know there is life off the Strip, and you're right. But hey, man, I just want to wish you continued courage and success. I do think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, the other key to your decision is clearly your wife is on board with you. And when your wife is on board with you, it allows men to be courageous and make courageous decisions. I'm sure that's part of the equation for you. No question. It takes two sides, man, to make it happen. And when this book is really, it's about letting boys be boys and girls be girls. You know, father has a place in the family, the mother has a place in the family. And bravebooks.com is a great place to go to check out the books that they have. If you sign up right now, you can get my book autographed for free, and then you get a new book every month after that. So please check that out. I got to give a quick plug. I do have a wonderful movie opening at the end of October. It's called Miracle in East Texas. I directed it. It's a true story set in 1930 about the largest oil fund in the history of the world. I'm in it. John Ratzenberger's in it. Lou Gossett Jr. is in it. Tyler Main, my wife Sam's in it. Runs 750 screens. If you go to sorbostudios.com, sign up now. We're doing a Fathom event. And with Fathom, you only get 2 days. It's tough to get movies out there, and the independent budgets like ours, we can't afford these commercials and put them out in every football and basketball game. So please sign up right now. Put in your zip code at sorbostudios.com or come up, and please support this movie. It's a wonderful PG-rated family movie, and you guys will love it. It's won 10 film festivals, everything from best comedy to judges' favorite, audience favorite, family favorite. You guys will love it. So please go there, and also bravebooks.com.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate the time. I want to say to the audience, if you enjoyed this content and you want more of it, number one thing you can do is support our sponsors. Preborn is a great sponsor for you to support. You guys know I love Preborn. Fearless Soldiers love Preborn. All you have to do, #250, say the keyword baby, or give the Jason Whitlock way, preborn.com/Jason. Thank you. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with all of our latest content.